All right. So, Maribel, I'm excited to have you here this afternoon. Um, so, I'm Chris Dyer, and I have with me today Maribel Cuervo. And I had the pleasure of meeting Maribel just a couple weeks ago in Carson City at a meeting, and was giving the presentation. And we've had a chat since then. And what intrigues me about Maribel is she said something to me, and she's absolutely right. We're all citizens, global citizens, right? We're all citizens of the planet. And with being very intentional about who we say we are with regards to diversity and inclusivity, and also wanted to be an international global connector, I wanted to have a conversation and bring Maribel to the people that follow me in my networks, in my frequency and bandwidth. So um, Maribel has a diverse educational background in humanities, sociology, and photography, along with more than 2 decades of dedicated service in the fields of health education and prevention, social services, public outreach, community programs, radio broadcasting, and non-clinical case management. Maribel has embarked on a remarkable journey of combining her wealth of experience, knowledge, and insight. Her mission is to harness the power of interpretation and translation to facilitate effective communication and bridge cultural divides. It's a very masculine, heavy energy there, Maribel. Throughout her multifaceted career, Maribel consistently exhibited a proactive and compassionate approach, offering invaluable support to individuals with limited proficiency in English. It was during these experiences that she developed an unwavering passion for the intricate art of translation and interpretation, which is why I wanted to introduce her to you all today. Fueling this passion, Maribel successfully completed a specialized certificate in translation and most recently earned a business and community interpreter certificate. In a significant collaboration with Impact Launch, a socially conscious enterprise committed to fostering equitable and sustainable outcomes, Maribel undertook the vital task of translating all written materials for the cohorts and assumed the role of lead interpreter during their annual leadership conferences for 7 years. Lots of practice there.
Yes.
Practice makes permanent. It was during this time that Maribel undertook a significant project, translating her first book, Radical Transformational Leadership, Strategic Action for Change Agents, authored by the esteemed Dr. Monica Sharma into Spanish. Maribel's unwavering commitment to making a tangible difference in the lives of others is evident, and she proudly identifies herself as a professional interpreter and translator for social impact, a title that underscores her dedication to facilitating understanding, connection, and change in the world through the art of communication. So, Maribel, thank you so much for this opportunity to just come again and have this additional conversation. I feel like it's very important to share with the world when we have connections with people that are making a difference. And I know that I said it's very masculine heavy. That's the very logic left brain side of who you are. And when I gave my presentation and the conversation, we talked a lot about energies, and you felt an energetic pull towards some of the information that I was sharing with regards to transformation. So I'd love to hear a little bit about that transformation, and then hear also how you've applied that to how you show up as a translator ready to make global impact.
Well, first, thank you very much for the opportunity, Chris. I'm humbled to be here, sharing my own experience about this transformation and how this transformation plays an important role in along our lives. You know, I feel like I can talk to you about many times, but the most recent instance is this place where I was when I started this journey of deciding on opening my business. Um, I I ended a job that I thought I was going to retire from. I was in a little bit of a perhaps middle-aged crisis, finally deciding that, you know, I have devoted so many times working for the community, nonprofits especially, and I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to do something on my own. So I took the full step, and it took a lot of work, internal work. People think, well, putting a business is just opening and hiring and things like that. But I want to tell you, for me, it took a lot of internal work, a lot of therapy, um, because that was a real crisis. That was a trauma I was going through. So the way that I can exemplify this in a visual way, I'm a very visual person, is the journey of a butterfly, because exactly like that happened. I was feeling, I wasn't even feeling like a worm. I was a worm in that place. I was the form of a worm, but inside me was a butterfly. I didn't know what was going to take. And I continue the process, and I trust the process, and I really work really hard on myself and letting go of all those backpacks of bad energy behind, for real. For once in my life, I was very conscious of those things. And um and I just start with the most simple step that we always ignore, and it's gratitude. Being grateful every day. I start a gratitude journal, and that helped me through my process of being a worm to becoming a chrysalid, to becoming, a little uh, hibernation, say, for my development.
Mhm.
I was telling last time I saw my therapist. I mean, everything worked exactly like the universe only can put it together.
Right.
And last conversation I have with my therapist was this about this, how I was feeling, and how I came up on the other side. And I was telling her, I'm not feel totally like I can fly. I feel like my wings still crumble, is still stretching. I'm still gaining a strength, but it was from the inside out. And that's one thing that I just come to learn with age. The art of patience, and that really focus on something you want to do. It really doesn't matter when you arrive to it. You will arrive to it if you
Right.
keep it in mind.
I understand.
Mhm.
It's being able to be very quiet, introspective, reflective, and begin to listen to our own voice. Right.
And it's interesting you mentioned that energy, the masculine energy emerging there, because I have to tell you, that's part of the artificial intelligence, which I call now my assistants. English is not my first language, so I
Okay.
use all the tools I can.
Uh-huh.
And um, and that was came out. But I think that it's a very good energy to have, to get to open through,
Uh-huh.
to get through things. The energy of the male energy, like it has been probably for years. It might be changing. It will be changing, but it's up to now. It was a good icebreaker. I feel.
Well, absolutely. And I didn't mean it as
No, no, no. I don't take it
a
like.
judgment. It was
No,
like
no.
it just felt really, really heavy. It felt like um
Very structured.
very structured, very black and white, very blueprint. And that's probably how a lot of people operate. And that's what they're looking for. They're wanting somebody who's organized, and he can be very strategic and be very methodical. Um, I love the harmony of being able to acknowledge masculine and feminine energy, and that's, the masculine wants to build and the feminine wants to create. And the feminine, I think, is can be the like the fine lines and the finesse, like smoothing out the edges a little bit. But it's what, there's something for everyone, and it's what they're looking for. But what I want to make introductions of you to other people who are already authors, who are already speakers, right? Who already have international stages. What would you say um, is your the asset that you're offering to these people? And are there even more people that you're looking to work with?
Absolutely. I think that what I really look forward is based on my own values, and is to help other people to really bridge the communication gap. Um, that is that has been a lot. I mean, I've been in the community services for a long time, and I have settings are sometimes because of healthcare involve heavy decision making. So that's when I will consider to recommend to the use of professionals. There is a lot of agencies out there and a lot of other colleagues, but my I think my signature is that of been working with the community for all these years and having all this understanding of the system. I really want to make a difference in people's lives, not only the ones who use my services, but those who are the services are directed to. So in that I consider all the cultural um, and very definitely the details on the language so I can make the message go through in the best effective way so I can impact the people's lives in that way by providing the best service I can. I don't know if that's enough of a strength, but it's a work in process. I think like we have talked before, everything evolves, everything changes.
Right, right.
And yes, so
With
far,
with you with your
yes.
training, were there other languages that you learned to become proficient in, not just the Latino community, the Latin community? Are there other languages that you also translate?
Not at this point. I can no. It's more like a hobby for me. Portuguese is something that I can communicate with people in Portuguese.
Okay.
Uh, and also I understand Italian, which was my second language in college. And honestly, I just did the test of reading comprehension and passed it without ever going to one class. So that's how sometimes they wanted to know, they wanted to understand something else just makes you more aware. And I think that being that another part of the uh, romance languages like is French, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese, I have a really good strong affinity to that, so my ears kind of prepared to understand.
So what you're saying and what I'm hearing is there's an opportunity for you to continue to stretch your understanding of different languages, right? I mean, as
Absolutely,
as this
absolutely.
pertains to the specialty of this community engagement and being a global connector. I mean, it seems like the possibilities are endless for you as long as you're open to that, working with different people from different cultures and languages and nations and just digging in and just expanding yourself.
Absolutely. I like I told you, that my I'm a citizen of the world. I feel like I can adapt, I can grow, uh, and mostly I can open up and have other people's open up to me in my daily conversation. So it's very satisfying to know that anywhere I go, I feel the same kind of connections. It's just about to be open and aware, like you say.
Mhm. Well, what else would you like to share with the world while we're having this conversation?
Um, well, going back to the issue of the vibrations of the where we are sitting right now, I strongly believe that we are in a living history and making history at the same time. Um, I believe the levels of vibration of this world are elevating because people like you and I and many others that are doing this work to be of service and to be the element that is going to create a better life in others. And I think that that's what's really elevating the vibration of the planet. And when we start understanding what we really have inside or what a real present or real gift is and how this can grow by offering it out, I think that we're going to start doing things differently. The same things differently.
Mhm.
It's a new way of thinking. It's a more universal. It's a more giving. It's a more grateful way to be living. And I guess the simple we live, the others will be able to simply live.
Very good. Well, thank you, Maribel. I certainly, it is a pleasure to know you, and it is a pleasure to refer you to other people in my social networks that are potentially wanting to expand into different languages. So I've actually already brought your name up into 3 people that have been in my space for the last couple of years. So I wish you much luck and much success, and I know that we'll continue to be in each other's space and hold just hold each other as the global citizens that we are.
Thank you very much, and thank you for holding this space for others to share their lives and their stories. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.